Hi, beloveds. I woke up yesterday reminiscing about the deeply impactful experience I had at All Souls Church Unitarian in Washington, D.C. 2 years ago to the day, I had just finished a life-changing paid seminary internship at All Souls, one of the largest congregations in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia metropolitan area. In All Souls Church, Unitarian DC, it's affectionately known as the Mother Church because it seated so many other UU congregations in the area. On May 8th, 2022, I preached a sermon called Holy Mothers, Holy Rage during our Mother's Day service. And this service was extra special because though I had done numerous reflections, readings, even read some original poetry, this was my first full sermon in front of a congregation which had held and shaped me during my seminary faith leadership formation. So not only that, but my family came out to support me. Both my parents and my children attended in person. And then I shared the link to the live service with my extended family, and they joined in. They were there live, talking in the chat, and it was all just beautiful. And at the end, the standing ovation, it almost made me cry. It was a lot, and it was affirming, and I felt the two-way connection, the two-way gratitude between myself and the congregation, and I just connected so deeply with them. And so thinking about, what was that sermon about? Holy Mothers, Holy Rage. It's about how culture has its own expectations on what constitutes a good mother, and how our faith tradition as Unitarian Universalists calls us to act on the inherent worth and dignity of every person and to affirm justice. Yet, in practice, many mothers of color experience disparate treatment in that whole situation. And so the sermon really dives deep into the pressures and cultural construction of motherhood and how a mother's rage is often the catalyst for social, political, and meaningful change. So it was fun, and a recording of that sermon is on my YouTube channel and on my Vimeo page. And reflecting on all of this, I still think back and I wonder, how in the world did I get so fortunate as to have Reverend Kathleen Rowlands as my seminary internship mentor? And then, to intern at the Mother Church, it was just how did this happen to me? And the staff team was amazing. Every interaction was filled with an energy that fueled a deep commitment to the mission and vision of All Souls Church Unitarian. And I felt that I was just surrounded by blessing after blessing. And it didn't end there. The various Black small ministry groups, they went out of their way to be especially welcoming and supportive of my formation and my growth. From the time I got there to the time I left, they were in touch with me, reaching out to me, welcoming me to get involved and get to know them. And I just couldn't have asked for anything better than that. To say it was amazing is an understatement. And this is now 2 years after that moment, 2 years after that sermon, my internship. I still visit the congregation regularly for worship and other activities. And most recently, my daughter, she completed their 5th grade OWL, Our Whole Lives Sexuality Education program. And having my daughter attend the program was a blessing to my family. The instructors, they were amazing on just multiple levels. And I appreciated the regular communication and suggestions the instructors prioritized during that whole, multi-month experience. And so for me personally, I have found that All Souls Church Unitarian isn't just the mother church. It is a home. It's a home to a community that walks the talk. And I have seen the board make the most difficult and values-based decisions that continue to serve the community well. I have seen the vulnerability displayed during sensitive disagreements where they chose to lead with transparency and love. The leadership did that. Not just the board, but the ministers, all the leaders. And I have seen the way that they support and celebrate their children and their youth during transitions and special events. It's just all beautiful. And just all that said, I have a question for you though. As you traveled, as you've learned, as you experienced your own faith formation and ministry, what have you found? What communities continue to impact you to this day? What communities do you continue to be deeply grateful for? For me, That's All Souls Church Unitarian. And one thing that Reverend Kathleen Rowlands, my internship mentor, she taught me during our time together is that not all of us are ministers, but we each have a ministry. And so thinking about that, what leaders, mentors, or teachers have positively impacted you in your ministry? Because we all have a ministry, right? We all do. And as we engage in this Mother's Day Appreciation Month, really, I am honoring the Mother Church. I'm honoring All Souls Church Unitarian. I continue to receive blessings from my seminary internship experience to this day. And when I think of mothers and Mother's Day, I think about those people, those experiences, and communities in our lives that have nurtured, affirmed, and taught us how to lean into the best part of ourselves so we're ready to change the world. Amen.